Welcome to Channel 18's Community Journal, and today we have the Harwich Conservation Trust, and they're here to give us a whole list of what they did during the year. So we're going to start right away because they're usually up all the time.
Thanks for having us, Paul.
Yes, we have Matt
Cannon.
Matt Cannon, the Director of
Land
Stewardship, and Michael Lack, the Executive Director. And Michael, you're going to start us off?
Yes. Well, thanks everybody for your support of Harwich Conservation Trust land-saving work throughout 2016. We'll share some of the highlights, just some, because you keep us very busy with all of your support, your annual membership gifts, and your planned giving, and your support of our many walks and talks and events. So we'll talk about some land projects, some land stewardship, and some educational preview of some of our winter talks coming up in 2017. But let's start right off with Bell's Neck. You'll see a map soon showing the West Reservoir there, surrounded by town-owned conservation land known as the Bell's Neck Conservation Lands. Well, originally acquired by the town in 1966, the vast majority of that land was preserved. Thank goodness for the vision back then for preserving land around this beautiful land and waterscape. Well, there was 4 acres that was missing for the past 50 years. And the town and Harwich Conservation Trust, showing those 4 acres circled in red, town and Harwich Conservation Trust and the Hall family who owned that land worked together over the past 16 years. And thanks to that collaboration and support from town meeting voters and the Selectmen and Conservation Commission and Trail Committee and Real Estate and Open Space Committee and the Town Highway Department and many other departments and foundations, including the Cape Cod 5 Foundation, we were able to pull together an agreement and acquire those 4 acres for permanent conservation. And now there's a loop trail all the way around the West Reservoir. So you can see some of the scenic landscape and waterscape that you can enjoy through that loop trail. And it's just gorgeous. Look at that, just a scene probably from a month ago, that photo taken by Stephanie Foster, the reflection in West Reservoir of the clouds above and the crimson-colored Tupelo. And that's a scene we're going to see more of right there with the snow and icy salt marsh margin.
Don't talk about that. We don't want to know about snow.
Has its own beauty. But that was just one of the land projects that we worked on thanks to the support of so many.
Very good.
We also have different land stewardship projects like our herring count.
Yes,
Matt will talk more about that.
That's been on for years.
It has, actually. I'm pretty sure 8 or 9 at this point.
Oh, more than that.
There's a great picture of some river herring, and another year, our volunteer citizen science project. We had about 60 volunteers, 30 of whom are from the high school. Look at that picture of the herring jumping over the ladder. So that's where we count. And this year was a great turnout with volunteers. The numbers seemed, down from last year. We're working with the APCC, Association Preserve Cape Cod, and the state takes all these numbers and they're figuring out what the population size really is. They make that 7-mile journey each year, and our data is valuable, so we'll see what the numbers show, but it's great to get people outdoors in the springtime doing
When do you
citizen
expect
science.
to have those numbers, Matt? Do you have any idea?
We had the numbers from last year. They were down pretty significantly, actually, from the year before. So I'm not sure when they'll have kind of their projected overall numbers in the future. But
So some really wonderful land stewardship, innovative citizen science project, all really energized by our dedicated volunteers. And we've also been working, of course, on some other land projects like the Gateway to the Island Pond Conservation Lands, the eastern gateway off Weston Woods Road on the border of the Cape Cod Lavender Farm owned by Cynthia and Matthew Sutphin. You'll see a photo in a second of the 2 lots that the town, Real Estate and Open Space Committee, partnering with the Conservation Commission, Trail Committee. And I also give a shout out to the Selectman and Town Administrator, Chris Clark, who's been fantastic in working through these complex projects in partnership with Harwich Conservation Trust. You see them there, Lot 1 and 2. Those 2 lots really help stitch together wildlife habitat corridor, because otherwise there wouldn't be a connection for wildlife between the existing town open space to the north and east. Those parcels also buffer wooded cart paths, which double as walking trails for the extensive walking trail network throughout the Island Pond Conservation Lands. Island Pond shown in that map to the south. So again, congratulations to town meeting voters. The trust helped the town close on this property with the Sutphin family in May of 2016. So another wonderful project. Helped also protect upland buffer to a nearby vernal pool, which is used by some very interesting critters, including spotted salamander, which lay these clusters of eggs, these egg masses. Believe it or not, those eggs are underwater. They glow with such life, don't they? And that photo is just taken above the surface of the water. And that's probably no bigger than the size of your fist. These vernal pools are really temporary bodies of water that allow some of these creatures to live out their life cycle. Fish-free. These pools don't have fish populations, so the eggs don't get eaten. Spotted salamander, wood frog, some other interesting creatures like fairy shrimp helped in their lives by the protection of the surrounding upland. So, wonderful project. We've also had some interesting walks,
yes.
Native American history walks.
A lot of walks.
Yes, led by Todd Kelly, 12th generation Cape Cod, and Marcus Hendricks, native Wampanoag and Nipmuc heritage. Leading these wonderful walks. You see some photos provided by Rick Moriarty. All these photos provided by our volunteers, amazing images. Here's one led in the Cape Cod National Seashore. We moved beyond the borders of Harwich to offer folks some other interesting adventures out on the land. This is part of our Native Nightlife Walk series we held on selected Saturday evenings in the summer. There's Marcus Hendricks pictured, giving a sense of the Native American history and rituals, traditions in that evening time frame. We called these the full moon nightlife walks because we held them right around the time of the full moon at twilight. So sort of the sun setting, the full moon rising. Just a really wonderful experience.
Kind of dramatic.
Yeah, this is by Gus Romano, one of our volunteers. Isn't that amazing? Sunset photo and a full moon photo too. Look at that. He took that photo, volunteer Gus Romano. I mean, that could be on the cover of National Geographic. I mean, that's just amazing. So, you know, they also led some other walks up in Wellfleet and Truro and Orleans and Chatham and Harwich as part of these Native American history series. Really fun, right, Matt? I mean, just amazing.
They were made, and the amount of people who were interested in these walks has really been burgeoning. I mean, we had to actually leave people off the list.
Yeah, we had a waiting list. I mean, space was limited. Each of these walk series was very, very popular. So,
Good.
yeah, and you know,
the waiting list is great.
yeah, and you know, another one of our popular events this year was the 4th annual Wildlands Music and Arts Stroll. And so, again, Matt was really the lead in coordinating many volunteers.
So that was our 4th annual. We're showing up for our 5th annual this year. We had about 300 people turn out again. It was a great weekend, I think September 10th this year. And we had amazing local musicians from all walks of life, including the Celtic Kids, Kathleen Healy, many others. The original Piano in the Woods was back, made a return. And thanks for the Harwich Historical Society. and the Guild of Harwich Artists painting the landscape in plein air, and people could bid on those paintings. So, and the local scoop provided ice cream. So a great event, really successful. People love it. And this year it's actually September 9th, Saturday.
2017. Mark your
Write it down.
calendars.
2017.
It'll be the
wow.
5th annual Park at the High School. You can find details already on our website, harwichconservationtrust.org. Yeah, so.
People plan that far in advance?
Yeah, well, we're trying to give folks plenty of time to mark their calendars. We have a lot of our 2017 events posted on our website already. So Meet Your Local Farmers event, Eyes on Owls, you know, series of winter talks. But we'll talk about winter talks in a second. We also have another land project that we've been working on, probably the highest profile project this year, and that was the Muddy Creek Headwaters Project, an effort to preserve 17 acres. You'll see a map in a moment showing the location of the Marini land owned by the Marini family, 17 acres there in the Pleasant Bay watershed at the headwaters of Muddy Creek as it flows down into that corner of Pleasant Bay. The property borders Chatham and Harwich, about 14 acres in Harwich, 3 in Chatham, a collection of upland and meadow and wetland habitats bordering 1,400 feet of shoreline on that tidal river, permitted and ready to go for a 12-lot subdivision. We feel it's a very sensitive area, and with the amount of public funds invested in the bridge, which is downstream at Route 28 to improve the health of Muddy Creek. There's a nice photo of the bridge that's provided by Alan Pollock of the Cape Cod Chronicle. We feel really that preserving the 17 acres is another step forward in helping to protect and restore the health of Muddy Creek. Popular now for kayakers and canoeists who put in at the Jackknife Cove beach there. Another nice photo by Alan. That's actually the 17 acres shown right there, right off the bow of the canoe, or kayak, excuse me, there. And wonderful project. We were able to raise the funds thanks to such widespread community support and support from town meeting voters, voting $500,000 this past May towards that project. Thank you, town meeting voters, once again. To secure the purchase funds for this property. We hope to close on this in early 2017 and then work from there on removing some dilapidated buildings and placing some trailhead and walking trail access. We're still raising funds for that eco-restoration portion, but with time we will get there. Wonderful wildlife habitat. This is a green heron. Isn't that just an amazing photo? These are really rather secretive birds, but on a kayak trip up there, Matt and I saw half a dozen of these moving in and out of the bordering wetland habitat along this 17-acre landscape. Great blue heron, osprey, kingfisher. There's a nice juvenile kingfisher, belted kingfisher, that zip back and forth, chattering away, these kingfisher. Very lively birds. Just it's our own little wilderness experience up there in Muddy Creek. So it's for for everybody to enjoy now, and if they can kayak or canoe up there from Jackknife Cove, or enjoy it from the land side once we get these walking trails ready. We hope to have a trail opening by summer 2017, so stay tuned.
Oh, yes. Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and we have the winter talks coming up. Can we do a little preview?
Yes, by all means.
Okay.
We'd like to know what's coming up.
Yes, very popular winter talk series. You'll see some photos of some whales and seabirds and terns. So you see the fluke there of a whale. We have a disentanglement program, right, Matt, coming up in partnership with
Center for Coastal Studies in Provincetown. Their team does, wow, look at those pictures. A lot of disentanglement with whales, unfortunately, from commercial fishing nets and other things. So we'll learn a lot more about that program and whales, probably mostly humpback whales, maybe some right whales.
Yeah, those photos taken by Peter Trull right there. The whale disentanglement program will be on January 14th, and then we'll have...
Do they, fishermen, are they quite a ways away, and they have long poles to cut these
You got to come 2
Yeah.
p.m.
Oh, I see.
Saturday, January 14th, and we'll learn all about it.
Okay.
We're not quite sure, but we're going to learn all about first responders
Okay.
disentangling whales on the high seas.
Very good.
So again, the schedule on our website.
It's January 17th.
That one's January 14th.
Oh, January
The week
14th.
prior, on the 7th, we'll have Peter Trull talking about the tern species of Cape Cod. Least tern, common tern. There's a nice one of a least tern on eggs taken by Peter Trull. Roseate tern and even Arctic tern, which makes an amazing migratory voyage each year from its Arctic breeding grounds to its Antarctic wintering grounds. Can you believe that? Little bird making that kind of flight. We'll hear more about that from Peter, as well as other tern facts and stories on January 7th. And then we will also have History of the Cape Cod National Seashore. And my mistake, actually, the Cape Cod National Seashore History talk will be on January 14th. So we have the terns on January 7th, Saturday, National Seashore History on January 14th, and whale disentanglement on January 28th.
Okay.
So, but if you want a schedule for your fridge, just go to the website. You can print it out, or just email us and we'll mail it to you. If you prefer snail mail, we can do that. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And we have one item to leave you with, if your viewers want to enjoy an inspiring 1-minute video, sort of capturing the essence and beauty of the lands that they're all helping us preserve with their support. Is that possible? We could say our goodbyes and leave them with a video?
Yeah, well, that's very possible.
Okay.
You
All
want to
right.
do that?
All right. Well, we'll let the Channel 18 powers that be make that possible. We thank everybody for your support of HCT's land-saving work. And I want to thank Matt and Jane and Alva, our wonderful staff, and of course our many dedicated volunteers. Paul, thank you, and your fellow volunteers, Joyce and Ron. And I'll also thank the staff at Channel 18, Jamie and Caleb, really making these programs possible. So more to come in 2017. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very inspiring conversation. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Healthy towns are towns where there's a healthy balance between development and open space.
Clean air and clean water and these type of environments are very difficult to put a price tag on.
The environment really drives the economy.
And people want walking lands around them. We cherish this place because of its beauty, and we're willing to stand up and do what we need to do to preserve it.
It takes a real dedication and commitment, and the Harwich Conservation Trust is as good as it gets.
People want to leave a legacy.
Land protected in perpetuity.
Knowing that our kids will be able to bring their children here is such a powerful thing.
Preserve land to protect water.
This conservation effort has really enhanced the protection of drinking water for the town of Harwich and for the region.
Preserve land to protect wildlife habitat.
You're never sure what you're going to see, but it's always a good adventure.
We have incredible talks and walks.
It's all rooted in those natural lands around us.